Dear students, what do you know about a tiger? Tiger is the national animal of India. We have got tiger reserves near our city, our place, like Ranthambore, Jim Corbett National Park, Sariska, etc., where we go for tours and picnics, and if we are lucky, we can see a tiger. Tiger is perhaps the most majestic wild cat in appearance and in its power. They are beautiful animals. Some say that tigers are even more powerful than lions. These all things are true about a tiger in a forest, which is its natural habitat. But when tigers are captured and put in the cages, imprisoned in the concrete cells of zoos and circus troops, perhaps the circus troops are not permitted now to keep wild animals, but in the zoos, tigers are still kept. I have visited some zoos where I observed the tigers are so restless. It's not only the tigers, leopards, and other wild animals which are kept in the cages. They are so restless, frustrated, fearful, indifferent. They don't even bother about who is coming and who is going. Maybe they may be eating the food which is given to them. Whereas when we see the TV channels like Discovery, National Geographic, Animal Planet, etc., we see how majestic, how free, how courageous, how carefree the tigers are. There is a beauty in it. But the animal which is kept in the zoo, it is a pathetic animal. If you have happened to visit any jails where we meet the prisoners, we know how frustrated they are, kept far away from their family members. Of course, they have committed some crimes or mistakes. That's why they are kept in the prison. But what about the wild animals like a tiger? What wrong that animal has committed? Nothing. It has got its natural instincts. Tigers are not rational animals like humans. They live on instincts, which is denied in the closed enclosures like zoo. The poem that we are going to learn depicts a tiger who is kept in an enclosure in a zoo, and the poet contrasts the tiger which is kept in the zoo with the tiger which is in his natural habitat. Through this poem, the poet is creating awareness among the readers that we should not curtail the freedom of the wild animals. Wild animals never become a threat to the human beings until and unless we become a threat for their existence. So this is the message that is given through this poem. I hope you like it, and I have prepared a video along with the lines of the poem. Please watch it and enjoy it and learn from it. He stalks on his vivid stripes. Stalks means following something in a very hidden way, cannot be seen by the other animals. Vivid means clear. Now he is walking in the cage. Very few steps he has got. The space is very limited. His feet has got a soft cushion underneath. It is compared to velvet to make it walk quietly. Now he is walking quietly in his rage. He should have been lying down under a tree's shadow. He should be sliding through long grass. That is his natural way of living. Hunting down the animals for his food. He will get into the grass so that the other animals cannot see. Normally, he goes near a waterhole to hunt the animals and also to drink, where plump deer pass. Fat deer are available near the waterhole. Should be going around the villages because the human beings have encroached his space. So he will be snarling around the houses at the jungle's edge, frightening them. You can see in the picture, the tiger is looking at the girl and giving a frightening noise. Baring his white fangs means showing his white fangs, teeth, the sharp teeth of the tiger. Claws, that is the nail, knife-like nails on the paws. Seeing the fangs and claws, people get frightened. Tiger is not actually terrorizing, it is trying to survive itself. Now he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind the bars. He cannot display his strength because he has no freedom. He is locked in. He is walking through the cage, the length of the cage, ignoring every visitor. He is not bothered about the visitors coming, what comment they pass or what they do. He hears the last voice at night, that means the patrolling police vehicles, the siren he hears. But he is not interested in those noises. It's a routine thing for him. Very sadly, helplessly, with his beautiful eyes, he looks towards the sky and he just stares at the beautiful night sky and the stars in the sky. Dear students, the poem A Tiger in the Zoo, written by the famous Welsh poet Leslie Norris, gives a sharp contrast between a tiger in its natural habitat and a tiger which is in an enclosure like zoo. We can see a sharp contrast between a tiger which would have been in a forest and the tiger which is put in the cage of the zoo. The differences in its moods are contrasted with what it would have been doing in its natural habitat, that is the forest. To make this contrast clear, the poet goes to and fro between a tiger in the zoo and a tiger in the forest. From line to line, we see this movement between a tiger in the forest and a tiger in the zoo. Dear students, the rhyme scheme used in the poem A Tiger in the Zoo is A, B, C, B. The same pattern is used in all the stanzas. A, B, C, B. It means the second and the fourth line are rhyming with each other. Let us take the first stanza as the example and see how the pattern ABCB is used. He walks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet rage. Here we can see the second and the fourth lines are rhyming with each other. In the first stanza, we can see cage of the second line and rage of the fourth line are rhyming with each other. In the second stanza, we can see that the grass in the second line and the pass in the fourth line are rhyming with each other. In the same way, the third, fourth, and fifth stanzas also follow the same rhyming pattern, that is A, B, C, B. You can check it yourself. In this poem, the poet is using many poetic devices such as figures of speech. They are metaphor, enjambment, assonance, and personification, imagery, consonance, and oxymoron. The first three, metaphor, assonance, and enjambment, I have explained to you in detail in the poem Dust of Snow. Now I shall explain to you what are the other figures of speech used in this poem with examples. Dear students, in the last lesson we learned about assonance and alliteration. We know that assonance is the repetition of the vowel sounds in a line, and alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds in the beginning of the word, the first syllable. Now we have another figure of speech called consonants, which is actually the repetition of any consonant sound at any place. It can come in the middle of the word or at the end of a word. So consonant refers to the repetition of the consonant sounds. The difference between alliteration and consonants is that consonants can happen anywhere in a word. Oxymoron is a figure of speech that combines two seemingly contradictory or opposite ideas to create a certain poetic effect and to reveal a deeper truth. Oxymoron is like a combination of two words which are different in its meaning. It could be opposite words. In the poem A Tiger in the Zoo, we have got a phrase quiet rage. Quiet normally refers to silence, unexpressed things, whereas rage refers to anger. A person can see the anger. So here, to express a deeper meaning, a suppressed anger, the poet is using this figure of speech, oxymoron, by using the phrase quiet rage. Personification is a figure of speech that gives human attributes or qualities to non-living things or animals. Alliteration is already explained in the previous video. You can see the sounds C and P are repeated in this poem. In this poem, the poet has tried to give us a picturesque view of a tiger which is talking, a tiger which is lurking in the shadow, etc. Onomatopoeia is a figure of speech that brings about or evokes the actual sound of the thing which is referred. The word that is used in the poem evokes or makes us to feel the real sound of it. Assonance also was explained in the previous video, so you can refer to it and find out the examples of assonance in this poem. So with this we conclude the poem A Tiger in the Zoo. I hope you like the poem. You can watch the video many times and also read the poem a number of times to understand the whole concepts and literary devices used in it. We shall do the exercises in the class. All the best. Have a good day.